What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Brandon Despia coming from a brand new player from the OCG. He just came to our locals, just a month in, so he has trying to adapt to the different format here. No Maxi over here, but on the right side here, we have Spright. We're playing Spright over here. This is with the Toad stuff, trying to go turbo with the Toad. We are going in the die roll, which is going to be quite nice for us, which can allow us to go first. We're going to summon out a copy of the Swap Frog by just creating a copy of Angler. A very good 2-card combo here. We're going to be summoning out 2 copies of Beaver, as well as dumping the copy of the Ice Barrier card, which can also let us search for a copy of the Reborn, giving us an early access to Toad before we really commit to anything else. So we're going to see us activate the spell, bringing out the copy of the Mirror Mage, and then we can just go up right immediately into the copy of Totally Awesome, which is Totally Awesome. So here we can go up into a different variation. We can either go up into a Gigantic, or if we have other cards in the hand, we can special summon out the copy of the with Carrot here, we have a Carrot, so we can then go up into a copy of Gigantic. And Gigantic can actually detach from the Toad if we want to. We do detach from the copy of Beaver. This is that we can add back the Beaver when Toad hits the graveyard, so we can have another follow-up, which can be a nice normal summon. We're going to summon out a copy of Blue, search for a Jet, it summons itself out, switching then for a copy of the Double Cross, which is going to give us another access to another Toad. Now we can link away the copy of the Blue as well as the Jet for a copy of the either an IP Masquerena or a copy of the Illusion Monster here. We go for the copy of IP Masquerena instead, and then we just set 3 more additional cards here, most likely being the Double Cross and then maybe something else. So we're going to see this during the standby phase. We're going to activate the effect of Totally Awesome, detaching itself from itself to summon another copy of Swap Frog from the deck. Now, this can allow us so that we can go up into an SP rig and keep a copy of Carrot or a copy of Gigantic on the field, depending on what we really want to have to go for here. But the first interaction that we're going to have to use is going to be the Toad, and then going to be adding back the copy of Beaver, double crossing it back out, so we have 2 negates. But we're going to be seeing a copy of Albion. I'm going to activate it during our send for cost. This is going to be a Retribution, and allowing them to draw 1 card as well here. And then we're going to be seeing looks like they have another Albion in the hand as well. We're going to be seeing a normal summon of a Quem. If this goes through, this will be allowing them to have access to a copy of Retribution, adding back the Retribution there. We're going to Toad negate that instead. Then we're going to Chainlink 1 Toad, target the copy of the Beaver, and then Chainlink 2 is going to be the Double Cross to summon back out the copy of Toad. They do have a branded opening for this. We do have a copy of the red on the field, so we can, or Carrot on the field, so we can negate that. But this is also going to make them discard a card as well. So we're going to say it's going to be good to go. They're going to be dumping a copy of Albaz. So now they also have branded and red going to be live as well, which is important to note. But they're going to be searching for a copy of, or summoning out the copy of Aluber here. We summon out the copy of Toad, and then we add back the Beaver. We have an imperm for this copy of Aluber as well. Going to be stopping them from getting a branded red or branded fusion to kind of play through that. Now they have 3 cards left in the hand. We still have the copy of the Carrot as well as the copy of Toad. Therefore, we're going to be kind of having multiple disruptions as well as a copy of the IP going up into an SP. Now the Aluber is not a threat for us, but if he summons out any other body, it's going to kind of be for us. But we see them scoop it up there. They have normal summon. They have extended with the copy of the Aluber, which is branded opening, and with that, there's not going to be much else they can do. If they had a copy of branded in red, that would have been a possibility, or even a copy of the Cartesia, because they did have the Albaz in the graveyard, but unfortunately they weren't able to get there. So we do see a submit defeat moving on to the game 2. Now they will be able to choose to go first here, which is going to mean there's not going to be any Omnigates on the field, but we'll be able to see some hand traps in the Spright hand here. Now I know we are playing like our deck, it's literally me playing, so I should be able to quite remember. We're playing Ash, Imperm, Veiler, Nib, and then post side, I guess I can side into Shifter. I think I do side into Shifter in this scenario here, because I'm also going to be playing Gamma Burst. And then, of course, we also have like the 2 Bestials in the deck. I kind of want to bump it up to 3. I don't think Molcharmy is that good in this deck, of course. It's very good against this deck. But I didn't find myself ever really siding it in going second. Like, if I'm ever losing, like, I don't know exactly what the side out for it. I kind of just want to have some Bestials in instead, so I can take it like the Azru and the Double Cross. Like a lot of times, like playing against Ubel and stuff like that, there's not that much drawing. Like I'll have like 2 draws and that's kind of fine. Like when I have also Nib in my hand, I kind of want them to do that kind of behavior. And like Mulch Army and the copy of whatever it's called, Shifter, is just kind of clogs up the side deck a bit. So I'm gonna be experimenting with different stuff like that. Maybe adding like 2 more Bestials and then like a copy of Duster, or maybe 2 Lightning Storms. We'll ultimately see what we ultimately choose on. I don't know if I feel like Lightning Storm is going to be that good with Nib in the deck, but at the same time, maybe it's a one of, so we shall see. But we're going to be diving on in, and Branded is going to be choosing to go first here. We're going to start off with a copy of Branded opening in the draw phase. Discarding a copy of the Albaz once again. Summon out a copy of the Quem. Quem can then dump. And we do have an Imperm on the Quem, trying to make sure it doesn't get any of those effects to go resolve. And then we're going to go for the Albion in the hand, which can send for cost, sending most likely the Retribution. Or they have Retribution in the hand, maybe. No, they don't. Okay, that's a D barrier in the hand, right. So we're going to send Retribution here, and they're going to be able to draw 1 card, which looks like a Book of Eclipse. So we can normally summon the copy of Aluber, activate the effect. We chain a copy of Valor on the Aluber here, and they do chain Book of Eclipse to that, but we do have an Ash Blossom, so we chain the Ash as well here, leaving them with just 1 card in the hand. Very turn ending. Like Book of Eclipse is so good in Branded for that reason, like being able to dodge those stuff. But then we also have a copy of Magnemite during the end phase on the copy of the Albaz, and then we're going to be activating the Magnemite effect, letting us search for a copy of the Druid Worm here. Just absolutely shitting on Branded. Feels bad. I love this deck. We're going to just draw for turn here, and then we're going to be going standby main phase. Now, the D barrier will be pretty effective against us, because we will be able to to stop our Gigantic, stop everything else like that, but we're noticing a copy of Angler here, not the greatest normal summon, but if we have any Spright monsters, it will let us play through it. We go for a Sprint. Sprint's going to activate the effect, letting us send a copy of Angler once again. Let us summon out 2 Beavers here. And then on this, they're going to activate D barrier called XYZ. Make it so that we cannot go into a copy of Gigantic. Now we could go into a copy of the Illusion guy, and then go up into a copy of SP Banish. But the problem with that is that we're going to always just be banishing their Retribution, and they just chain that to add back the copy of Opening there. So they're going to get a card back to the hand, but there's not much we can do otherwise. We're going to go for a Dark, and then we're going to be sending the Quem with the copy of Druid Worm, and we almost went for Solemn there, but it has to summon to a zone it points to, so we can't really go for that. So we're going to go attack, and then we're going to be dealing some damage. That was close. We almost went for Celine, but Celine cast to summon back to a zone it points to. So we can't do that. We're going to go for an SP instead here, and then we're going to be banishing a copy of the Retribution. They're going to chain the Retribution there to add back the copy of Branded Opening, leaving them on now 2 cards. 1 can be able to discard for the Branded Opening. But we also going to set a card and just pass turn on that. So we're going to see them draw for turn. And they do have a Branded Opening there, as well as I think a copy of Lubellion. So they're going to go Lubellion effect, especially for a Soraneer. Now Soraneer and the copy of Retribution is quite nice. Or Opening is quite nice. They can go chain so they can go Soraneer effect, target, and then they can chain the copy of Opening, essentially banishing a card for free. Which we are going to be seeing here. We're going to be targeting the copy of the Dark. And we have double cross, but there's no really good point to double cross here. I'm going to go opening. We have like double cross and Albion that they summon. Or any like fusion. Even if we could go for a Lubellion if they go for Lubellion. They can't discard a card, so they can't go for Lubellion. They have to go directly into a copy of Albion up into a copy of Mirror Jade. So I guess if you take the Albion, we're gonna stop the Mirror Jade access, making them forced to go into like a Queritus there. So we're going to be seeing the Sorenir dump a copy of High Spirits, and then we're going to be adding a copy of Brand of Fusion. We activate the Brand of Fusion here, dumping the copy of Albaz as well as a copy of the Cartesia because we already had the Lubellion in the graveyard. And we see the Albion being made. Now, on the Albion effect, we definitely should be taking it with that copy of... Or we're going to chain the SP to it, okay. That also can do the equivalent of the same thing, you know, making them have to go for an extra deck monster. And then we can just take that with the double cross here. They're going to go for a Granganol. And we do let that resolve, letting them dump most likely another copy of Albion here. They need that Albion access. Yeah, it's either Albion or the Titanic Lad, I suppose. But we see them dump the Albion. They have to go battle phase here, and they're going to attack. On the attack declaration, we are going to be taking the gigantic, or we're going to be activating double cross to take the copy of the Grand Giganol. This is going to make it so that we keep our monsters on the field, and then we can also link away during the follow-up turn. So they go to end phase here. They're going to add back the copy of High Spirits, and then they're also going to be activating the effect of the Albion there, letting them search or add or set a copy of Branded in Red or a copy of... so we're going to be setting the copy of Branded in Red there, and then we are going to be resolving the effect here of the SP, putting back their Albion as well as the SP on the field. So they will have a Guardian Chimera access with the copy of Branded in Red. And they also have High Spirits during the follow-up turn as well. You know, being able to draw one and pop two cards can be very crucial, especially when you dump yourself a Granganol. You know, by destroying that Granganol on their field, we will be able to, or on our field, I should say, they will be able to get that back in the graveyard so they can banish it to summon out a copy of Quem or the Queritus there. But we have the ability to dodge the copy of not gigantic, but we have the ability to dodge the Guardian Chimera by keeping the SP on the field, but we go up into a copy of Gigantic, and they're going to be they're forced here to activate the effect of the red, and they're going to go for a copy of the Queritus here. Interesting that we're choosing to go for a Queritus and not a line of like Guardian Chimera or a copy of the Mirror Jade. Maybe they want to keep the Albion on the field. They're going to go for a copy of the Lubellion here. They're going to be activating the effect going up into a Mirror Jade. So not my Queritus, my bad. We're going up for a copy of the Lubellion. Discarding the High Spirits once again. They're going to go up into the copy of Mirror Jade here with putting back the Albion that was banished or in the graveyard there. Then we're dumping a copy of the Titanic Lad. And then we're going to be seeing the Gigantic being banished by that copy of Mirror Jade here. Now they have no more interactions until the end phase with the Titanic Lad there. But we do still have one card left in the hand. I don't think we can go up to anything else, because if we have any line that gets us into like Access Code Talker, we're going to be like on. So we have to link away for the copy of the Selene, using the copy of Granganol, and then on the Selene summon back out. Granganol can then trigger to dump a copy of Quem, or summon out a copy of Quem there, which is going to be very problematic for us. We look in their graveyard to see what they have. and it might just be an immediate defeat for us. We're going to normal summon Swap Frog, activate the effect, sending the copy of the Mirror Mage, activating the effect, searching for a copy of the spell here, activating the spell to summon back out, and then at this point we realize we go for a Mannequin Cat here. Mannequin Cat's going to activate, and we're going to summon out the copy of the Sorenir, most likely. And that's going to trigger the Mannequin Cat, letting us summon out a copy of Blue from the deck, and then Blue is going to search for the Jet. But we're still not getting anywhere. I suppose we could go for the line with not Gossip Shadow, but the ninja guy. We could go for him here. We search for a copy of the starter, because we will be able to go like cannot be destroyed by battle. All monsters, if you monster carry attack and activate one of the effect, we can just attack into the Mirror Jade. Or yeah, maybe we should have put the Sorenir in defense position there, and then Sorenir could have been attacked with the copy of the Granganol, making the Mosquito put a counter on the copy of Mirror Jade, and then we just attack with. We have to have 3 attacks, so we would have to attack with Mosquito, and then we deal 3,000 damage. Then we attack with the Mannequin Cat, deal 2,000 damage, and then we get to go for the Spright, deal 3,000. So we could have had game there if we would have just played it a little bit differently. Not going for that copy of Gigantic. We should have gone for the Mosquito there, which would have prevented us from would let us have game there. So definitely a little bit of a misplay. Yeah, I didn't even realize that at the time, but that's pretty cool that we can do that. OTK going second by summoning a bunch of big bodies, or I guess in this case little bodies with that. But you know, you live and you learn. You make mistakes. We went for a Gigantic, summoned a copy of Red. But at that point, we're not winning anyways. You know, I was trying to stop the Titanic Lab, but if we can just win on the spot, there's no really point of going for anything different. You know, now moving on to game 3, we are going to be having the ability to go first, which the deck does strive at quite a bit. You know, you want to be able to set up a double negate, an omni negate, as well as a steal, and then either a copy of Red, Carrot, or even like an IP, or you can even go for the lines where we're playing the illusion monster in the deck, so we can have a kind of a negate in that case of a special summon monster. It's very good against the copies of Fiendsmith. You know, stopping the copy of the Requiem right on the summon definitely puts a halt in their board. But we're going to be seeing game 3 here. Lots of good side deck cards that are available for the Brandon Despia player. You know, they can just go droplets negate our entire board and then play it through that as well. You know, could definitely be an option. And including having talents as well and thrust, being able to search for the copy of Brandon Fusion just helps out quite a bit if we don't have any hand traps to back our board up. So we're going to see a normal summon of Swap Frog here, going to activate the effect. Starting off that Toad very early, dumping the copy of the Mirror Mage, searching for the copy of the spell. One of the better normal summons that is not Beaver in the deck. We're going to activate it, you know, getting us in early access to Totally Awesome, you know, on summon number 3. Making it so that right now our board is essentially hand trap-less. We then have the copy of Jet summon itself out. This is correct. You know, it is a rank or a level monster. The other ones are going to be the other. We search for a copy of Starter. Starter is going to activate the effect, summon a copy of Blue. Blue can then search for a copy of Red or Carrot, depending on which one we want to be needing. We do also see the Double Cross still in the deck here. We're going to be searching for a Carrot. You know, the spells and traps that Brandon does have is going to be quite more scarier than any monster that you summon, you know, other than Albaz. But we're going to be going for a copy of Sprint copy of the Angler here, something with Double Beaver. And then, you know, all know how this goes. We can go up for a copy of Gigantic, either choosing to use the Sprint if we want to make it a bigger body, or if we want to keep the bounce on the field, we can just go for a copy of the Gigantic, not using the Sprint there. We're going to activate the effect attaching the copy of Beaver. Once again, we're going to attach from the Gigantic because we do want to add that back to that Beaver when we get rid of the copy of the Totally Awesome. We're going to go for a red here, so we're going to have a carrot and a red as well. And then we're going to go up into the copy of, or we're supposed to with the carrot here, right? We don't go for the link. Yeah, so then we just come up with the copy of carrot, and then we're going to be setting one card here and pass turn on that. So we saw a search for the copy of the starter there, which maybe meant that we didn't have any other way to extend, or we already had the double cross in the hand. We do summon with the copy of Swap Frog here, which is not going to be the best, but we do see a copy of Branded Fusion going to be activated there. We chain the copy of Totally Awesome to get rid of it, and we're going to be taking that. But they do have a copy of Forbidden Droplets here. They're going to be sending the copy of Tragedy as well as the Branded Fusion. Now, I wonder if there's a world where you should have done that prior to. And we do see a copy of the Albion being sent as well, negating the red, carrot, and the Sprint. Now, Toad will activate the effects to add back the copy of the Beaver here. And we don't take the copy of Branded Fusion. We are making sure, because it has a weird text on it that says, send one Aqua from hand from the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do destroy that card, then you can set it to your field. So I thought that it didn't have to destroy to set it to the field, but I apparently am wrong, which does happen a lot. Yeah, I didn't know you can send one from your hand either, which is kind of cool. But we then go Druisfirm on the copy of the Albion. Alright, and I realize I can't do that because they control no monsters. But we see a Branded in white going to be activated here, and that's going to be good. We're going to be using the Albaz and the Graveyard as well as the Tragedy, going up for the copy of the Queritus there. Then Tragedy will activate its effects, letting us search for a copy of the Aluber or the copy of Quem. So we do hit a copy of the Ash to negate that. Having an Aluber or a Quem can just be, turn changing, especially if it's a copy of Quem. It's going to be having multiple effects every single turn, being able to bring back out and dump. They do have the copy of Cartesia here. Interesting that we chose to summon this out prior. I feel like we definitely should have summoned it out while the copy of Albaz was in the graveyard. And then we could banish it there to let us search for the copy of the Tragedy. Or banish with the Tragedy there to let us search for a copy of the Aluber, letting us, already have a normal summon. But we do have an imperm for the copy of Cartesia, so it's not going to matter that much there. We see the Queritus activate the effect. And they fix the extra deck monster zone there. You can't have two monsters occupying the same extra deck. It's not going to matter that much. It didn't change the gameplay at all. They went Queritus, and then they wanted to chain the copy of Cartesia. We chained the copy of Imperm on the Cartesia there. Essentially making it so that the Queritus is now turning everything into 0, but Cartesia is not going to be able to destroy anything as well, unless she wants to kind of crash herself, which there's no real point of doing. No fusion mod touch the graveyard this turn. So you see them attack into a copy of red here, and then that's going to be passing a turn there, knowing they're going to be having another turn and want to either resolve that copy of Cartesia or the copy of Queritus there is going to be very important. Now we do have a copy of the Gigantic here, which can shut down the Cartesia right away. Then we activate the effect, and that's going to let us summon out the copy of the blue. Blue can actually search for a copy of red, because we do play two of them, or a copy of Jet, depending if we don't have the double cross in the hand, or if we want a starter access. We go for the red here, which means we already have a copy of Gamma Burst in the hand to kind of go for game. And so on the red search, you're going to activate the copy of the Queritus, because they want to make sure that we cannot OTK, but we are going to be able to go up into a different body here, so going up into the copy of Gigantic Spright, making it at 32. Now, I can't activate the effect, but it does have 32 here, and then we're going to go up into a copy of the IP. Our bodies are going to be at 0, so having anything higher than 0 is going to be nice, as well as, clearing up our zones, because we're kind of cluster-phobic with those zones there. We're going to summon a copy of red, summon a copy of the carrot. We normally summon the beaver here, or we're going to return the carrot to attack position. Summon the copy of the angler, and they're all in attack position, which you know what that means. We're going to be having a battle phase to activate a effect of the Gamma Burst, and that's just going to be game on board. Well, we see Spright taking the win here with some very cool cards, double Omni Negate, as well as a big boost attack game finisher. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, see more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.